Hi guys, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. My name is Darshana and this channel is going to be all about DIY home decors, boho theme decor, canvas paintings. So do hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to always be notified of my new videos. So a little backstory. I was online shopping for boho themed pendant lights when I came across this beautiful pendant light. It was just the one I wanted. But when I saw the price,
oh hell no!
I checked some other websites, but everything was around 400 bucks. So here we are DIYing a $400 pendant light, easy and cheap. Alright, so for this project I used a steel ring, but you could also use an embroidery hoop and some macrame. So you want to start off by tying the first knot on the steel ring. And this is the hanging piece for the chandelier. So depending on how tall you want to hang this chandelier, you can adjust this macrame cord length and tie another knot on the other side of the steel ring. Now that the first two knots are in place, I ended up taking another string and tied another knot between those two knots and basically did the same thing again. You do need a lending hand in this process to make sure that when you're tying your 4 knots, your chandelier hangs up straight. The way I went about getting this done was basically just tying a knot without cutting the macrame string, and then when I found the desired string length and knot was tied, I just cut off the end and just tightened the macrame cord. So now I'm just measuring how long I would want my macrame pendant light to be, and I took 3 times that length and cut my macrame cords. So you take each of these strings and tie a lark's head knot by passing the ends from inside the ring through the loop. For my steel ring, I ended up having 20 such macrame strings between each of the hanging knots. So 20 knots in every section and 4 such sections ended up giving me 80 macrame cords to cut in total and tie the lark's head knot for each of them. This project is one of the easiest macrame projects I've done just because I end up using only 2 knotting techniques and the whole chandelier looks amazing. So 80 lark's head knots all done. Next we move to tying a diagonal double half-inch knot. We need to take 10 strings for each side of the diagonal half-inch knot. So this is how I would want the pattern to look like, to have the first 10 strings form the first diagonal and then the next 10 strings to mirror the same diagonal. So you would end up having 8 such V-shaped design, so 2 on each section. So to tie a diagonal double half-inch knot, your first string would act as your holding cord and the next 9 strings would be knotted on your holding cord. So what's a holding cord? It is basically a cord that can hold and support the knots made by the working cords. So to tie this knot, you basically go around the holding cord and through the loop and do it twice to get a double half-inch knot. Let me know in the comments section if you want to see more such macrame DIYs. Check out my macrame pillow cover DIY that I did last week. I will add the links at the end of the video and in the description box. Also check out my DIY boho planter. I will add the links again in the description box and at the end of the video. So I'm counting my strings as I go, and this should be my last string that forms the first side of the V, and we will repeat the same on the other side. Your last string would now become your holding cord, and 9 strings before that would be your working cord. Now that's one complete design, and you need to basically repeat the same design throughout the lantern. Now we take the same strings we took before and repeat the same design to form the second V that is knotted close to the first V, and you repeat the same design all across the chandelier. Since I wanted to replicate the chandelier close to the one that I liked on the website, I went ahead and created another row of the same knot, and I repeated this all across the chandelier. So that's how it should look at the end. I did end up tying another double half-inch knot to join the two sides of the V's together. You can also actually add some embellishments or beads in the macrame at this point. It would definitely look nice. I did do one entire pattern and then did the same across the pendant light, and you can choose to do the same. Now I ended up adding another diagonal double half-inch knot, but now I want to make that knot at that distance of probably an inch. So I did complete the pattern, but this is how I did it just so that two different V's were interconnected. I passed the string through the loop besides my working V design, and I started creating the diagonal double half-inch knot, keeping that distance from the previous rows. You want to keep pulling and straightening your patterns so that it looks and is positioned at the exact distance that you would want it to be. At this point, like I did earlier, we would want to tie another diagonal double half-inch knot, tying the two sides of the V's together. Now I'm taking a U-pin, but you can again take anything that can help with adding the beads to the macrame strings. So here's what you want to do is pass the U-pin through the beads, and while you're doing so, you will get the macrame string in and through the beads. This did take some time, but it ended up being quicker once I got the hang of it. You would want to end up tying a knot to secure the bead at the position where you would like it to be. I added the beads on every other string and created knots at random positions based on how I would want it to be, and I also brushed out some good length of the macrame at the bottom to finish it all up. You can add more beads or even repeat the pattern that we did earlier if you want a longer chandelier, but this was just the right height that I wanted it to be, and I totally love it. If you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.